Coming up next on 2 News at 5:30, kids head back to school and businesses are open again, but tensions are still high in Los Angeles.
Some local residents say they're shocked over King-related activities in their neighborhood.
Plus, a special report looking at a new type of school where kids learn in their own home from their own parents.
2 News at 5:30 is next. Join us.
WDTN Channel 2. Where the Miami Valley turns for news and information. Jack Hicks, Donna Jordan, Chief Meteorologist Carl Nichols, and Sports Director Omar Williams. This is 2 News at 5:30.
Good afternoon. Things finally appear to be returning back to normal in riot-ravaged Los Angeles. Many people are headed back to work for the first time since the violence broke out late Wednesday. But for some, the workday began by cleaning up damage from all the looting and the fires. Also today, Mayor Tom Bradley lifts the dusk to dawn curfew that's been in effect since Thursday.
The curfew has been lifted. No curfew tonight. As to the troops, the federalized troops that are in our city, there is no plan, no desire to withdraw them.
Mayor Bradley's decision comes despite the fact there was more violence last night. National Guardsmen shot and killed a motorist who tried to crash a barricade west of downtown. The shooting by the troops brings the death toll to 47. More than 2,300 people have been injured. Nearly 11,400 people have been arrested. Courts held rare Sunday sessions yesterday to handle the heavy caseload, and damage has been estimated at $717 million. The city workers removed barriers to exits on the Harbor Freeway that were put up to block some of the hardest hit areas.
And that's just one of the many signs that things are returning to normal. Donna mentioned many people heading back to work for the first time today. The same can be said for thousands of students who return to the classroom. But some parents, well, they're still nervous. One father said it was a wild week. You can't help but be a little nervous as he walked his 10-year-old son to school. And there's a follow-up to one shocking part of the Los Angeles reports. This about the beating of truck driver Reginald Denny. These scenes were captured by a helicopter camera. A group of black men beating the white Denny. Yesterday, Denny's family had the chance to thank the people who hurried the injured man to a hospital.
They are heroes. They truly are heroes.
I don't feel any heroism. I mean, I feel like a regular person. The guy was in desperate need of someone to come through for him at the time. And that's what we did, just came through for the guy.
Denny is, of course, still in the hospital. He is getting better. Doctors say he should continue to improve.
In Washington, President Bush goes on the defensive, answering charges that his policies contributed to the L.A. riots. The president angrily denies that charge. And as Mike Goldfein of our Washington Bureau reports, Mr. Bush says he's actively working on ways to help L.A. rebuild.
Funding for the needy and help to ailing inner cities hasn't been considered a trademark of either the Bush or the Reagan administrations. Nonetheless, when the subject came up today, it was something of a sore point with the president, who became testy at the suggestion that he had just implied having no understanding of the core of the problem.
No, I didn't say that at all, Helen. I don't know how you could conclude that from what I just said. We had some very good ideas that we have out there that would have been extraordinarily helpful if they'd been put into effect.
Later, Press Secretary Marlin Fitzwater took it one step further, saying liberal policies of the 1960s and 70s are to blame, since they ignored people's hopes to find work and own property. The president said his administration has made good proposals, but that Congress has ignored them.
It's not like we have no idea whatsoever. If people had listened to some of our cabinet departments up on the Hill, we might be a little further along.
Not so, say Hill Democrats, who argue that the Bush administration has consistently cut funding to the disadvantaged.
We're all at fault, and perhaps President Bush and especially President Reagan should have offered better leadership to tell the Americans which path to follow, but they didn't do it.
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
As in many major cities over the last week, hundreds of protesters rallied today in Washington to condemn the Rodney King verdict and to demand swift federal action. There is no word on when or if the Justice Department might file charges in the case. Acutely aware of the political realities involved, the president flies to Los Angeles on Thursday for 2 days of meetings with community and civic leaders there. In Washington, Mike Goldfein, 2 News.
The Bush administration announced it will provide $6 million in grants and loans to help Los Angeles rebuild.
Meantime, Democratic frontrunner Bill Clinton is denying charges that he's trying to capitalize on the L.A. riots to boost his presidential campaign. Housing Secretary Jack Kemp has accused Clinton of playing politics with the crisis. That's a charge he flatly denies.
No, I mean, I don't know what he's talking about. You know, I don't see how anybody could read the article you wrote about my speech or watched it and think it was a partisan attack. I think maybe Jack just got a little heat for all the criticism that he gave to President Bush and then trying to make up a little ground on the home court. That's about all I can figure.
Clinton toured L.A. for the second straight day before leaving for Indiana. Now, back home in Dayton, the violence that started in Los Angeles and spread to other cities after the King verdict has apparently been felt here. Police say only one incident of racial violence has been reported, and according to 2 News reporter Fran Charles, such incidents are uncommon in the neighborhood where the attack took place.
Early Saturday morning, a 29-year-old man was filling up his gas tank at a station on Philadelphia and Riverview when he was beaten by about a dozen youths. The victim was white and his attackers were black. The people who live nearby in the integrated Cornell Heights neighborhood say racially motivated attacks normally don't happen here.
In this area, it's really very, very uncommon that circumstances like this takes off. It's basically people just basically looking for an excuse to run rampant.
Becky Huffman and Dorothy Young have been good friends for 11 years. They too say the recent violence is an aberration because of the King verdict. Huffman thinks those responsible are just frustrated.
Because you don't see middle-class people that are doing all right in these riots and stuff, except maybe to protect their property. But you don't see them starting. You see the ones that are real frustrated.
So far, this is the only reported outbreak of racial violence here in Dayton since the King verdict came down. Now, the reason for that may be the determination of the Dayton Police Department and area black leaders to stop the violence before it starts.
We aren't going to allow to happen in Dayton, Montgomery County, what's going on in other areas of this country.
The anger is here, no doubt about it. But I think it's being directed as meetings yesterday. It's going to be directed very positive and towards some constructive things rather than destructive.
Area leaders are hoping that a new awareness level will make racially tense situations of any kind very unlikely. In West Dayton, Fran Charles, 2 News.
Police say they have not made any arrests in the beating, and they aren't saying anything about their investigation. They also aren't commenting on any actions that they may be taking to make sure such attacks don't occur again. The victim, by the way, suffered face and body injuries, but refused to let medics take him to the hospital.
We've got another note out of California tonight, as if things haven't been bad enough there. An earthquake has rocked an area west of Los Angeles, the same area that was hit by a strong quake on April 22nd. Seismologists are calling it an aftershock to that quake. Now, so far, there are no reports of any serious damage or injuries. A Chicago man believed responsible for the death of his family now faces charges of drunk driving and operating an unsafe vehicle. Charles Jones jumped out of his car just before it plunged into Lake Michigan yesterday, but 7 other family members were still inside. You see some of them here. His pregnant wife and 2 children were killed. The baby was stillborn. 3 other youngsters are critically injured. Tests showed the car had little or no brake fluid, and Jones says he was aware of the problem. He told police his brakes failed and it sent the car right into the water.
A federal judge in Washington has upheld a grand jury subpoena for a massive release of records from the now-closed House bank. 5 House members challenged the subpoena. They say that lawmakers expected their financial records to be kept private. Meantime, the House banking scandal has apparently claimed another victim. Michigan Republican Robert Davis says he won't seek re-election. He was number 3 on the list of the worst abusers of the bank, 878 bad checks.
My. He was a busy guy.
Indeed.
Well, how about this weekend? It wasn't bad at all.
Not a bad day, or not a bad weekend. We had nice warm weather on Saturday, cooler temperatures Sunday, but actually you summed it up actually very nice with the lower humidity. Now temperatures have dropped even more. And I think maybe what we ought to do is skip this week. Go to next week.
How do we do that?
Well, I'm going to just officially make it a skip week for us, but it's going to be unseasonably cool all week. We had a high temperature today of 58. Our normal high this time of the year, almost 70, and it's not going to get much better throughout the week. Right now, temperatures have dropped back. We had a few showers move through. 50 currently in Dayton at the airport with cloudy skies, the humidity 60%, northwest wind right now at about 10. Well, across Indiana and Ohio, skies are mostly cloudy, a few showers going on, and temperatures unseasonably cool everywhere, mostly in the 50s to around 60, 49 at Toledo and 48 in Akron. Around the Miami Valley, similar temperatures. Temperatures right now in the lower end of the 50s, 50 in Clark County and Shelby County. The cool spots overnight, temperatures will drop into the upper 30s, so another chilly night for us. Radar 2100 radar has been tracking some light showers moving across Indiana into southwestern Ohio, down into Kentucky. You can see they continue to move slowly off to the east, so we'll continue to have a couple of sprinkles around or a few light showers. Satellite today indicating clouds. We started out with sun this morning, and then the clouds have been moving down through the Great Lakes and out of the upper Midwest and moving right on in on us. To the south and west, it's been kind of sunny today and a nice day, but this area of clouds is going to be around us now for the next several days as it kind of swirls throughout the Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley. Right now across the region, we've got a little area of low pressure to the south of us that's helped produce the clouds and also some showers. And look at these temperatures. Temperatures mostly in the upper 40s and 50s, even with sunshine out at Minneapolis, 57, and a chilly 48 in Chicago. My forecast for us tonight, a chilly night, few light showers overnight. Lows will be in the upper 30s. And then tomorrow we'll have clouds during the day, maybe mixed with a little bit of sunshine at times, unseasonably cool, and still a few showers around. It will not rain all day, and there will be periods of dry weather, but just have to dodge a couple of showers. Highs only in the mid-50s. Coming up at 6 o'clock, it's more like March than the first part of May with these temperatures. We'll let you know what it looks like toward the end of the weekend, into the weekend, but at least for the next 2 or 3 days, not much change.
Okay, we'll just skip it then, as you suggest.
Go to next week.
Still to come on 2 News at 5:30. It's that time of year again as people try to get their suntans.
But next in Family Health, a warning. You need to be more careful about skin cancer than ever before.
And later on, a special report on children going to school in their own home. And their teachers are their parents.
What a wonderful time of year this is. It's when I look forward to going to Spring Hill Nurseries. There's so much to see. But then I get excited at the prospect of planting a small bush, shrub, or tree, or the surprise of discovering a colorful new bedding plant. Over the years, my gardening habits have improved with dramatic results. Those Spring Hill gardeners know their stuff, even helping people with composting. You know, 5 generations have come to Spring Hill Nurseries. Why don't you plan your trip today?
Service for 4 for under $100? It's a snap, thanks to Lazarus. Start with 4 dinner plates. Add 4 salad plates, 4 bowls, 4 coffee mugs, 4 salad forks, dinner forks, soup spoons, teaspoons, knives, and don't forget 4 glasses. And you've got the total table at the total price. Just $99.99. That's right, all this for that. The total table, the total price. Just $99.99. Through Saturday, only at Lazarus.
Bored with burgers? Come to Arby's for something different, like our 4 delicious new subs.
Arby's is different.
Hey, different is good.
Dayton's most comprehensive fertility center, Miami Valley Hospital, the region's lead.
Attention, everyone who owns a car. Rust is on the way. And if you think a manufacturer's warranty is going to stop it, just look around. Fortunately, there is something that can stop rust. Z-Bart Tidy Car. Save 50% on our spring protection package. Get rust protection, full body sound barrier, fabric protection, and a remote auto alarm. Just $346. 10 Miami Valley centers. See your white pages.
The Ohio Medical Association says it's not true and doesn't agree with a new report that says the average doctor earned $190,000 before taxes in 1990. The state association says the recent AMA survey only sampled 132 doctors in the state. Not nearly enough, they say. It also says many doctors, especially family practitioners, don't make $100,000. Plus, they add some physicians have $50,000 in school debt or more to pay off.
In tonight's Family Health Report, a look at the most common form of cancer. Skin cancer can be treated successfully if it's found early. 2 News health reporter Marcia Bonhart tells us the key is to get checked regularly.
It feels good and it can make you look good, but it can also be hazardous to your health. Overexposure to the sun is the leading cause of skin cancer. Just ask Carol Anatrella. She spent most of her teenage years basking in the ultraviolet rays of the biggest star.
I lived at my parents' pool all summer long.
And now?
And now I use sun protection all the time. My makeup has an SPF in it, and I don't go below 19 in the summertime.
Let me get good.
Carol is now afraid she may be paying the price for all that sun. She's noticing a change in moles on her
This is a
skin.
good one here. On the border is a little bit smudgy. It doesn't have well-defined borders here. Also, this one shows a little bit of color variation.
Those changes could signal skin cancer, but after careful examination, Dr. Papadakis wasn't too concerned.
I recommend highly to patients to have sun sense and be careful of what exposure they do get and to be careful as to what time of day they go into the sun.
Avoid the peak times for the sun. Its greatest strength is from 11 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. Also, avoid direct rays by covering up with a wide-brimmed hat and wearing long sleeves and pants. And use sunscreens with numbers no lower than number 15.
Keep in mind, skin cancer is an event that is created over time. So oftentimes a patient that I'll remove a skin cancer will say, well, doctor, I didn't have much sun exposure during the last 2 years or so.
Carol Anatrella is trying to put a stop to any further damage already caused by heavy doses of the sun. She's learning the ways of the rays and what a danger they can cause. In Washington Township, Marcia Bonhart, 2 News.
Private consultations and free skin exams will be held this Friday and Saturday at the Drug Emporium on Wilmington Pike, so take advantage of it. Also, Wright State University Medical School is taking appointments for skin screenings. And if you want to go there, that number is 223-8521.
And next in sports, the fastest lap ever at Indy.
Plus, this Wings player is flying high as he combines basketball and family for what he calls a perfect life.
See you next year. Those were the results of the mammogram I had yesterday at Kettering Breast Evaluation Centers. You didn't tell me you had a lump. I don't. My doctor recommends one yearly just to make sure everything's okay. Well, doesn't it hurt? They don't have to hurt. Mine didn't. How did you find the time? It was easy. They're open early mornings and evenings. Well, I can't afford one. That's what I thought until I heard about their low-cost screening. Just call 299-0099.
Dayton's John Paxson of the Chicago Bulls knows the importance of teamwork. He's teamed up with Citizens Federal to encourage you to help our community. The Great Expectations program needs mentors for one-on-one relationships. Teach an adult to read, guide a student on a career path, or be a friend to a youth in need.
Your gift of time can make a big difference to people in our hometown. Ask about a free videotape with details on becoming a volunteer at any Citizens Federal office.
Jobs for Grads is a program that opens doors for kids who are at a critical stage in their lives. The students come before the board members and they talk to us about how the program has changed their lives.
A whole lot. And without that program, I think a whole lot of kids would miss out on what I gained.
These are students that probably would drop out of school, and it makes me feel good that I can be part of an organization that cares about these kids.
They're all yours.
Very funny. Open the door, please, right now. Oh, okay. Hi. Excuse me.
Hello, Domino's? Call now for America's favorite pizza feast with pepperoni, sausage, and mushroom. A medium's just $8.99. I've got a Domino's pizza. Nobody knows like Domino's.
Remember when all you had to do was make a clay handprint for your parents? That was gift giving.
Yeah, right.
So I'm in a panic. I gotta get gifts for weddings, graduations, family, you name it. So she tells me to go to Dayton Mall.
I told him.
So I'm doing the mall thing, and I find jewelry, clothing, CDs, and gift certificates, talk about smart shopping. And get this, my mom takes down the clay handprint and puts up the new clock I gave her. So I hung the handprint in her apartment. The mall thing's a great idea. I'm glad I thought of it.
What?
In Star Notes this evening, celebrities are taking to the airwaves, trying to stop scenes like these. Sean Penn, Wesley Snipes, Luke Perry, Arsenio Hall, they're all among the stars to tape public service announcements that started running over the weekend, calling for calm in Los Angeles. And if David Bowie's been looking any different lately, it might be because he's a newlywed. Bowie and fashion model Iman secretly wed last month in Switzerland. A Swiss official just made the news public. And just in case you wanted to know, Iman wore white pants, a black top, and sunglasses. Bowie wore a black suit and tie with a white rose in his lapel, and armed with that information, we are all better people.
Because we're not surprised. That looks like them. I mean, that's something you'd expect them to wear.
You wouldn't expect Jack and I to wear a white rose.
Were you invited to the wedding?
No.
Oh.
Once again, I was left out. I know.
But you were at Indy this weekend, weren't you?
Yes, I was at Indy, plus the fact that they're driving over there like you drive. I mean, no, I'm only kidding.
Don't tell everybody.
No, I'm sorry. Another speed barrier broken at Indianapolis. Roberto Guerrero turned a practice lap at 230 miles per hour. And later this afternoon, Jim Crawford topped that by reaching 232 miles an hour. We can expect the speeds to rise all week long, as, don't forget, this weekend is the opening weekend of time trials, Saturday and Sunday. The basketball playoffs continue tonight in Cleveland. The Cavaliers face Boston in Game 2 of their series. The Cavs crushed Boston in the opener. The Celtic Larry Bird, still suffering from a bad back, he will not play. And next, the story of a member of the Dayton Wings who combines his basketball life with his family life. Johnny Hilliard is a forward, but more than that, he's a father. Mark Viviano introduces us to the Wings basketball family, Johnny and Dawn Hilliard and their 5 children.
Johnny Hilliard is a basketball rookie. He's young but old-fashioned, and he's living a dream. You can see Johnny's dream while the Wings practice. That's where you'll find his wife, Dawn, and the Hilliards' 5 kids. Kaylee, Shannon, Chris, Janelle, and Jasmine, ages 1 to 6. Johnny Hilliard lives for basketball and loves his family.
Well, it's tough at times, but I mean, it really keeps me focused on what I want to do and how I want to succeed in life. I want them to have the best in life, and right now they're supporting me, and I'm playing basketball, and she knows that's what I want to do.
You know, it's kind of Johnny's dream come true to get to play and get paid for it. Not that it's, you know, it's not the NBA, but it's what he wants to do right now. So it's been, you know, it's been a blessing to us, really, to be able to give him that opportunity.
Well, you've heard of basketball players getting an assist. Well, Johnny Hilliard got one of the more amazing assists in his life when he helped his wife give birth to their youngest child, Jasmine, in a car, in a trip from Idaho to Oregon.
It was a hectic moment, but I came through all right.
And it was just basically one of those things that God took care of. We didn't really, I mean, we were there to help, but, you know, there weren't any problems, so we were just blessed that we were all right.
And the blessings are there for the whole team to count. 5 little Hilliards at a Wings practice. And guess what they like to do?
Run around. That's the best part. We usually come about an hour early, even before practice, so they can be out on the court and run around with them and stuff. So they like it too. And if you watch, Shannon can make a shot. He just turned 6, and he'll make a shot on a 10-foot goal.
And Johnny and Dawn haven't reached their family goal just yet. They'd like one more child. Mark Viviano, 2 Sports.
Have a team with a substitute. They get one more child.
That's it. They want their own
Great
team.
story, isn't it?
Did you see him get that basket?
Put it in there.
Coming up now, going to school without ever leaving your home.
Next in a special report, why more and more parents are teaching their own kids instead of sending them off to school.
Introducing new harvest salads from Bob Evans Farms. We take the best the land has to offer to create delicious country-style salads fresh enough to carry the Bob Evans name. These are salads made the way you'd make them if you had the time. So try Bob Evans' new harvest salads, delivered fresh overnight to your grocery store.
Bob Evans, down on the farm.
1 out of 4 Americans will suffer from heart disease. Maybe someone you know and love. But you can help lower your family's risk by giving them foods low in cholesterol and fat. Foods like butternut bread. It has no cholesterol or saturated fat, and that's good for your heart. So feed your family right, because you can't tell who's going to suffer from heart disease just by looking at them.
Without Pam, Jobs for Grads couldn't have helped Dawn find her career path. Without Dr. Dager, the Miami Valley Literacy Council couldn't have taught Terry to read. Without Kurt, Big Brothers couldn't have helped Eric handle his problems and gain self-esteem. There's a constant need for mentors in a variety of ways and from different agencies. For more information on mentoring programs, call the Volunteer Action Center at 225-3068. Or to receive a free video presentation on mentoring programs, stop by any DP&L, Citizens Federal, or Channel 2.
Want your own home? Need an investment? VA has homes at great prices in your area. Buy your first home, a second home, or for your retirement. Some are handyman specials. You may qualify for VA financing at competitive rates along with low closing costs. Anyone can buy. You don't have to be a veteran. For more information, contact any broker in your area.
Jack and Mary are newlyweds. Mary is learning the joy of cooking. Jack is learning diplomacy.
Is everything all right, dear?
Yes, dear. It's a shame our newlyweds don't know about down-home dinners from Perkins. Wholesome dinners served in hearty portions, just like Mom used to make when you lived at home.
Honey, have you seen my